Hello and welcome back to another Fun Food Friday with Woodruff Family Wisdom at ppptime.com. And today we will be using two awesome kitchen tools that make your cooking easy peasy. And as you can see, Honey is unloading the Instapot, which we will be doing some rice and the famous Popeye's red beans and rice, and also the Nuwave oven, where we will be roasting a chicken that will be cooked in maybe about an hour, from pre-seasoned, frozen, to tasty right on your plate. So as we get ready to start our cooking adventure, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell so you know when we are releasing our next Fun Food Friday. Okay, while Honey is getting everything all set up, we are going to go ahead and get our chicken out of the freezer, which, as I stated before, it is pre-seasoned and frozen. So as you can see, thump, 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 it's hard as a brick. And Honey used, which season did you use to?
Yes, we pre-seasoned it with Atkins seasoning and garlic salt before we froze it.
And I think we have the livers and the, what is that, the chicken neck on top that's still frozen. But we'll take that off and set it to the side after a few minutes. And I guess we need to plug it up if we're going to cook, for sure. And what's the temperature?
So the temperature is at 350 degrees, and you can adjust it down. However, we want it at 350, and we're going to cook it for an hour initially, but we'll come back and do another 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, if you need to, if you want to, it's according to your texture. Sometimes people just like their chicken to be well done to where when you cut it, I don't even know.
If you want it
Sometimes
more crispier,
yeah,
you can do a little crispier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we're just gonna slide over to the Instapot because we've already, which we're not showing on this video, we've already cooked the rice and we've already cooked the beans. But the only thing that we're lacking at this point is doing our sauteing, and we didn't want to put our vegetables in before or with the beans because we don't want them to be overcooked. So Honey's putting in a little coconut oil that we're going to use for our saute.
So here we're about to saute just a little, about a half a cup of onions and a quarter cup of garlic, cut real finely minced.
And this is what's really cool about the Instapot. And Honey's going to just kind of make sure that the bottom of the pot have oil on it before we put the vegetables in. That it has all these neat buttons. You don't have to set a particular timer if you don't want to. Like it's for the rice, you could just hit rice. And right here you can see where he just hit saute. And you can set the time for how long you want to saute. But right now that has 30 minutes, which is probably more than what we need. So before we put our beans back in, we'll just have to change that setting.
Yeah, we'll just cancel it and get ready to go into manually setting the time for...
to just keep cooking the beans.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we do it on saute because the beans and stuff is already cooked. But, we turn it
You
on
don't want to, yeah, but if you saute, it's going to be a little hot of a temperature. Right. So you want to make sure you don't scorch your pot with the beans. So you really have to watch that. As you can see on the stove right here, the beans are really cooked and the rice is done. So what Honey did earlier, what'd you do?
I extracted some of the juice as well as some of the beans so I can puree it with our NutriBullet so we can have that like gravy in there.
That texture of the beans and rice that Popeyes have. And if you don't have the NutriBullet, that's fine. You can use any type of smasher. Sometimes you can use a fork or a spoon. Okay, look like our chicken has ended.
And watch how beautiful this is.
Look at that. And just like Honey always look at the
Awesome.
legs, and he always say the socks are up. And I was saying to
Look at
myself,
their legs right there.
I say his pants are up.
Yeah.
He's flooding. He's high water.
Now we flipped it over so you can see the
See the
backside.
backside.
Look at that. Awesome.
And remember, this is like preseason, and then Honey freezes them. And all you have to do is take them out the bag and
Take them out the
freezer. Put it in the Nuwave. Okay. And we're checking on our
sauteed
onions and garlic. Just let them get a little brown. And we don't like to cook ours too soft. And remember, the harder you can stand your vegetables, the more nutrients you get out of them. So
pureeing the beans in the NutriBullet. So you add your beans to your sauteed sauteed onion and garlic, and add your puree. So now we're adding our pureed beans into the beans and onions and garlic. So to have that great texture.
You know, that's what I really like about the beans and rice from Popeyes. It's the soup type texture that I really, really like.
It's got a graviness to it or something. It's not as many whole beans, so you can really just get it down to that if you like.
Yeah, Honey wanted his a little more chunky, but
I like
you know, Popeyes is really, really soft.
And here I'm just rinsing the residue of my puree out of my NutriBullet cup, so I just add a little water back.
And if you wanted to, you could continue maybe to even cook the beans a little longer, but for us that was great, you know. And now he's going to be adding the seasons, and if you don't capture this right now, we'll probably put it in the description below.
This is liquid smoke that we're about to add. It's just a tablespoon of liquid smoke. Give it that good smoky flavor. You can add a little more if you like. It's based on your own taste buds, but a tablespoon for 16 ounces of beans is good. Now we have our mixture of our salt, pepper, garlic, salt, and onions that we're adding to the mixture. And again, you can dwindle down your salt and the pepper to your taste, because you can always do that afterwards. As you know, everybody's taste buds are a little bit different. So,
and if you want it spicy, they also, if you want to,
yes, you can do a little cayenne.
Which Louisiana like hot. So, we just decided to kind of like let each other,
black pepper.
We just kind of salt and peppered it to taste for to our own individual palates.
So the recipe calls for like a half a tablespoon, teaspoon of pepper. But
nice little sample you're doing right there.
Yes, it's time for the taste test. Delicious. On point.
Now, as you can see, we are getting ready to cut up the chicken, and we're going to have some beans and rice. And what's not showing here is that we did have some good cornbread to go with the beans and rice, but it didn't make the video, unfortunately. So thanks again for watching Fun Food Friday. And remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell so you know when we release our next video. And remember that you are happy, healthy, wealthy, fit, and forgiven. God bless.